Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Coco. I'm the founder of IXCHEBEL, where I do tarot and astrology readings for your personal and professional life. I'm so happy that you're here to join me today. Please click subscribe. Also, please like this video, drop a comment if something in it is like really resonating with you. Aside from that, please follow me on Instagram. You can follow me here. Okay. And also, if you're new here, please visit my website at www.ixchebel-llc.com. I'm going to put a link right here also for you guys to check out. All right. So let's just get straight into it. Today, us people in Brooklyn, New York City, everyone in like the hip hop community has really heard some very sad news. We lost one of our own, rising star Pop Smoke. I posted on my Instagram earlier today, which you can see right here. I posted about a little bit about him and what his death represents. I reviewed his natal chart to see what was going on in there, and I did find out some surprising things about for myself, which showed like a little bit of a similarity between him and Biggie Smalls, who we lost in the 90s. Another, really young rising star from Brooklyn, killed in California. But here's a little bit about Pop Smoke. So he, unfortunately was murdered this morning in a home invasion. He accidentally posted his address on Instagram where he was staying at, like a rental property in California. And ultimately, this kind of led to someone finding where he was and invading the property. Additionally, he also had posted, I saw an image, I'm going to try to post it here. He posted an image of him and a friend in front of the property too, where you can see the numbers on the address of the numbers on the property. So this guy wasn't like really moving too smart, unfortunately, but he was very young, only 20 years old, so it's understandable. But it kind of like begs the question, where was his security team? Where was his public relations team? Why weren't they protecting this young star who was on the rise and having, these legal problems? Secondly, he was just in the news in January. Actually, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. He was kind of like clowning someone, I remember, just a few days ago on Instagram. Some photographer took some photos of him, I believe like a press release or something like that. And Pop, was telling the guy, take these pictures down. They look crazy. He was like making like weird faces and stuff like that. So he was like having a little argument or something like that. And ultimately, he kind of decided, I'm just going to drop it. Prior to that, though, like, he was in the news in January because he had stolen a $300,000 car. It was rented for a video shoot, I believe, and he stole it. He transported the vehicle all the way back to New York, changed the plates. It's like really dumb kid stuff, people who are probably came from like extreme circumstances, and they get a little bit of money, they get a little bit of fame, and they kind of like start living the fast life, doing things a little bit stupid. So I hate to like speak poorly about someone who just passed away, but really I wanted to do this video because Pop Smoke, he was so young, and like he only had a few hit songs, but he really meant a lot to us New Yorkers, people in the hip-hop community and everything like that. He was real fine, like us girls, we were kind of drooling all over him. But I really wanted to talk about his natal chart because I saw some real interesting stuff in there. So the first point being that his Mars, Mars represents your assertiveness, like how action oriented you are. His Mars was in the sign of Scorpio, and it was opposing his Jupiter, which was in the sign of Taurus. Now, I posted on my Instagram earlier, so you guys could definitely go there and check it out in writing, but I posted Mars in Scorpio. It can be interpreted as someone stealing other people's property. If you know about Scorpio and the 8th house in astrology, it's associated with how you handle yourself when it comes to other people's property. Mars, right, this can be associated with taking things by force. So this kind of like speaks about like some of the energy that was in his chart, as well as opposing Jupiter in Taurus. Taurus is associated with luxury, security, real high class material goods. The car that he stole, I just told you, was worth $300,000, okay? This shows that like he had this tension between, you know, how fast he wanted to go about getting his wealth, how fast he wanted to go about, you know, showing off, being flashy and stuff like that. So that was one thing that really stood out to me. And I like I just told you, Biggie had the same aspect in his natal chart. His Mars, I believe, was in Cancer. Let me double check that. But his Mars was definitely opposing his Jupiter, which I did post in my Instagram as well today. So it kind of like shows like a little bit of a similarity. Of course, you know, there are other rappers out there who do the same thing. Like, they don't have to have these aspects, but it just really stood out to me that both of them were from Brooklyn, had the same aspect, and kind of like died under similar conditions. But you know, Biggie, of course, he was no saint. He rapped about robberies and stealing other people's women and stuff like that all the time. So I think ultimately it kind of just boiled down to young guys getting money fast, making really bad decisions. Secondly, I wanted to talk about the transits for today, because we are in a the moon is still waning. Like, we're approaching the new moon in Pisces, so the moon is in its waning crescent phase today in Capricorn, which does, you know, have a lot to do with like taking things away. Like, we're focusing on what's being like taken away from us. So the fact that when he died, right, well, when it was reported that the home invasion occurred, it was 4:30 in the morning. Capricorn was on the horizon. Capricorn was rising, right? So now you have Mars in Capricorn, you have the moon in Capricorn, you have the ascendant in Capricorn. Okay, so the moon in Capricorn was squaring Venus in Aries. I kind of already spoke about, you know, what Mars represents. Mars is the ruler of Aries. So you kind of get into this energy where the fact that Mars and Venus were like squaring each other by sign, the fact that the moon was exactly squaring to Venus, there was a lot associated with someone trying to get revenge, or like just getting their revenge. Like, they really wanted to humiliate this guy. They really wanted to like humble him in a way for being like a shady businessman. You know, the whole thing about the incident with the car being stolen, I really have a strong feeling that whoever was conspiring against him, like it was associated with how he was moving when it came to that. But yeah, so all this tension between this Capricorn energy, Capricorn is like focusing on how to be a great businessman. I seen another video, I don't know what the guy's name is, but I seen it reposted in someone else's story on Instagram. So I'm gonna try to share a little clip with you guys. But I did want to like just highlight some key points that he made. He said, you know, young people, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're someone who's you're just like an entertainer, growing in fame. Now you know, you've got your following. Now you're actually like going on tour, going to these different cities to interact with people. Like, you have to move really smart. If you go in somewhere to do business and just that. Like, don't be under like the impression that you have to be a star all the time. Like, you have to always be looking for party, looking for drinks, looking for a good time. You in this place to handle your business, right? You in this place to promote your brand. You in this place to like maybe go forward and make some like long-term business deals that's gonna secure, you know, like a life of comfortability and just wealth for years to come, for not just your family, but the people in your team, people who's going on tour with you and stuff like that. You know, like when you reach this level, Kevin Hart spoke about it too. When you reach this level of stardom where you have employees under you, like you're the brand and you have all these people working for you, it's not just about you no more. It's about more than just you. You maybe have 50, 60 people under you and you're paying all their salaries. They gotta eat. I'm not saying Pop was anywhere near this level. It's just kind of like something to think about if you know, you are trying to be an entrepreneur and you're someone who eventually like wants to go on tour someday, and have people under you. Not saying that anyone's gonna make the mistake of posting their address online, which I really feel that it was like an error associated with Mercury being in retrograde. I'm sure this man knows how to turn off his location and stuff like that. But unfortunately, you know, something happened and it was just, it stayed on. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. I don't want this video to be too long. You know, drop a comment if what I'm saying is resonating. Drop a comment if you kind of just like want to know more. If you want me to read your natal chart, like I said, visit my website. I'm gonna post another link here for you guys. But yeah, just I'm really sad about what happened with this guy. And like I said, if you want to read more about my interpretation about what was going on in his chart, please feel free to visit my Instagram. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I'm really saddened by the news. I really enjoyed his hit song all summer. Welcome to the Party. It's just really sad, but it also kind of makes you think, you know, like, doesn't matter how old you are, you shouldn't be making shady business deals, trying to cheat people out of wealth that they built for themselves just to try to like get it quickly on your own. That's pretty much all that I have to say. Let me know what you guys think. All right, take care.